So I just got abused by this old guy in this car today. And the reason he abused me is actually insane. Have a look at this. Now, obviously, I didn't get to catch the old bloke's name, so we'll just call him Bozo.
Hello.
B-O-Z-O.
Sorry, I don't know who Bozo is. What, is he a clown?
Yes, he's a clown.
So let me break down exactly what happened and why there was an exchange between me and Bozo. So I was at the shopping centre today between students. I'm a driving instructor. So I saw this opportunity to pull into a car park. And as I pulled in, like most people, I saw the bay ahead of me was empty, so I thought I'll just drive straight forward into the forward bay, which of course will be easier to pull out of when I leave. So as you can see, I'm going to be parking next to Bozo's car. So I pull into the car park. So as you can appreciate, I'm a driving instructor. This is not the first time I've parked a car. This is not my first rodeo. I've done it before. Now, as I've driven into the forward bay, I've put my car into park, I've put the handbrake on, and, like a lot of other times, I thought this is a good opportunity for me to check my messages before I go into the shop. So I take out my phone, I start checking my messages. Now, this is when Bozo winds his window down. He wants to talk to me. And I do get this a lot, because if I'm in my driving school car, often people ask me for business cards or my number, or ask me when I'm available for driving lessons. Now, after seeing how Bozo drives, that would have made sense, because he needs some, but I digress. But that's not what he wanted to talk to me about. He said to me that I need to move over because I haven't allowed him enough room to move his car out. So I give him the benefit of the doubt, because we all make mistakes, and I open my door and my parking's perfect. He's got plenty of room to get out. Now, this is when Bozo upset me, because he then says, "You haven't left me enough room. Clearly you're too busy on your mobile phone and you haven't parked properly." Aww. That's when I got out of the car and said, "Excuse me, mate, have a look at my car. I'm a driving instructor. There is no way I would be on my mobile phone while I'm driving. I'm on my phone now because I've literally parked the car." And then I looked at how my car was parked.
Wait, what?
It was perfect. That's when Bozo started laughing hysterically like a crazy man. And I thought, I think there's actually something wrong with this guy. As soon as I said I'm a driving instructor, even though I was in my driving school car, which was clearly sign written, he starts laughing hysterically. "Oh my God, you're a driving instructor. Look at how you've parked. That's the most craziest thing I've ever heard."
Crazy.
Like, yeah, whatever, Bozo. For those of you who know me, I was almost killed a few years ago because of an idiot who was on a mobile phone. I had a head-on with him on my motorbike, and I wound up spending several months in hospital after undergoing major surgeries, 3 major surgeries. I've now got bolts and steel rods holding me together. I have permanent disabilities because of someone's negligence on the road using a mobile phone while I was riding a motorbike, crashing into me head-on. So I'm not a huge fan of people using mobile phones while they're driving. And I'm a driving instructor. I am not going to be on my mobile phone when I'm driving. So when Bozo started accusing me of my horrible parking because of me being on the phone, that was a low blow. I got out of my car just to double check, just in case Bozo was right. My car was parked perfectly. Now, Bozo started yelling and swearing and carrying on at me.
And you're ugly, just like your mum.
While he was hysterically laughing. So I got out, got my camera, and I started taking some video of him. And I'm thinking, this is going straight to YouTube, Bozo. Now, after he took off, I took some photos of my car. I could not have parked that any better. It is evenly spaced, perfectly between the lines. It's not too far forward, it's not too far back. Bozo had plenty of room to get out of this car bay. So I have no idea what he was going on about. As I said, I'm a driving instructor. This is not the first time I've parked a car. My driving school car is very small, very easy to park. It's perfect. So this was the bay that Bozo was parked in. How could he not get out of there? But I'm going to show you where the problem was, and now I realise what happened. See, here's the problem. The problem is Bozo can't drive. Aww. And I think, because he was with his wife, he might have got humiliated and embarrassed.
Oh.
Aha! Absolutely no idea what you're doing, do you?
He didn't want me to park there because he needed like 3 bays to get out. Have a look at this. As you can see, when I first pulled into the forward bay next to Bozo, I didn't even know there was anybody in that car. Now, I think Bozo was counting on my bay being empty along with the 2 bays next to him because he can't pull out of a car park like most people. Have a look at what he does.
Wait, what?
See, Bozo already had 2 empty bays to the left of him. Now most people, if they're driven forward into a bay, would just reverse out of it. But even though Bozo's only got this tiny little car, he needs like 3 or 4 bays to get out of it. And he does like a 3 or 4 point turn. In, out. So even though old mate Bozo's giving me, a driving instructor, advice on how I should be driving, old mate here does this crazy manoeuvre to get the car out of a bay, this tiny little car, proceeds to drive off with just one hand on the wheel, I digress, and then drives on the wrong side of the road. Cheers Bozo, see ya. Yeah, so this old fella's really struggling with his parking. Now I realise why he was going off at me. He clearly needs empty bays all around him to get in and out of a car bay, so when I pulled up next to him, even though my parking was fine, he panicked and didn't know how he was going to get out.
Wait, what?
This is just crazy. So I've just done this quick little reenactment. This is kind of like where Bozo was parked today, in this bay here. So he had an empty bay on his right, which is where I ended up, and the 2 empty bays on his left. I've pulled forward into this bay, then saw the opportunity to move forward into the bay next to Bozo. Now, leaving a forward bay park is actually really simple for most people.
I'm telling you, there's something wrong with this guy.
As I say to my students, swing out wide to the far side of the road. That way you ensure you're on your side of the road. You're not driving on the wrong side of the road. Get your car nice and straight and drive off. It's not rocket science.
There's something really wrong with him.
But Bozo's got this funny technique where he just goes out on the wrong side of the road, does some kind of fancy 3-point turn, which was fortunate for him there weren't cars next to him. I don't know what he would have done then. And then he just drives on the wrong side of the road. Okay. You do you, Bozo, but don't have the audacity to tell me that I'm on my phone and as a byproduct, my parking's no good and you can't get your car out because of how I've parked. This is crazy. I literally just did a video recently of this other guy who cut this poor woman off in her car, just changed lanes on a solid line directly in front of this woman. Couldn't possibly have been his fault. Instead, he gets out and he's just about to hit this woman saying, "You were on your phone, you were on your phone." Why? Because you cut her off? Is it possible that maybe you're the one that has the parking problem, Bozo? Have a listen to this Wally. He's literally laughing, but as he's driving off, he's like, you're a driving instructor. That's the funniest thing I've heard. Well, okay, whatever.
Please drive.
Take your medication, Bozo.
Bozo's out. He's finished. It's over for Bozo.